People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, guys, we are back. And this week it is Natalie and I. It's been a month since we've talked last.
Has it?
You know, it's crazy how time flies. It really does.
It goes by fast.
We go through spells where, you know, we lose a guest or we have somebody lined up and it falls through. And Natalie and I talk. And we have a couple of those in a row or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Natalie and I are in here talking all the time. When do we have a guest? But we've had
a good streak lately.
We had a good go.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I got some really cool surprises coming up. Some of my loyal fans, Patreon subscribers, they know what's coming up. And if you want to be on that list of the inside, you can join my Patreon or comment on my videos. You can go to Patreon, you can go to Patreon and comment and just watch Patreon. You don't have to pay it for anything. There is some free content on there. You can go to YouTube on our page and comment there. And Spotify has a thing you can comment there. So, and I'll reply to you and give you some inside information in those places. But Natalie and I literally have a whole list of stuff to talk about tonight. That ought to be enough. So, Natalie, what have you been up to? How's everything going?
Good. How's everything going?
She has no idea what I have on this list. I do have a couple things, and I'm sure it's out of order because it's as it happened, and then we're going back in time and things. So, I don't know. You want to talk about... Lana and I were in the car a couple weeks ago with the boys by ourselves. We went to Tractor Supply to get baby chicks.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about animal sounds with the kids, and I just thought it was hilarious. And what kind of sound does a cow make? Moo. What kind of sound does that wolf make? Ow. What kind of sound does a dog woof? What kind of sound does this make? I mean, they knew set their four, but they did great. I was proud of them. And I said it, or I don't know who said it. Lana and I said it. What sound does a chipmunk make? And they said, chipmunks don't talk, or chipmunks don't sing. No, shoot, I'm messing up the quote. Here, chipmunks don't make sounds, they sing. There you go. I'm misquoting my 4-year-old.
Oh, but that's cute.
Meow. They did the cow and they did all that. And they were, Dad, chipmunks don't make a sound. They just sing.
They sing. Oh, they see them singing on TV all the time.
But the baby chicks, how'd that go over with the boys?
Oh, they loved it.
Love-hate relationship.
Yeah, Lex is a little scared. I don't know why, but he wants to pet him. He wants to kiss him, but then he wants to hold him. But then you have to have your hands right there because he'll get scared, and you gotta catch it.
I yelled at him in the animal cage last week because he went out there and said, "I want to kill it. I want to kill it." No, I just want to kill it. But he's saying carry,
but he's
in a weird way.
Carry it, kill it, carry it. Yeah. Wow.
But I'm like, no, you're not going to kill it. No, Dad, I want to kill it. I'm like, no, you can't. So I put it in his hand and he held it. And what kind of face did I take in that picture?
They took a picture of each of the boys and showed it to me later. Julian's holding the chicken just like, heck yeah, this is awesome. Lex is holding the chicken and just looking at Dad like, is this okay? Yeah, I don't know about this. Like,
can you take it back now? And
yeah.
These were the big chickens. These were the adults, fully grown.
Yeah.
But the babies did great. They took care of them. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, you had to be there.
Right. They've gotten way big. I mean, how many weeks ago was that? 34?
I don't know, but I was thinking today as I fed them.
They're big.
It's getting close. I can let them out of that cage. Can you believe it?
Not close enough, though. They get trampled still.
Honey, they're as big as that can right now.
Yeah.
They're this big.
And the adult chickens are nice little chickens.
Well, they bunch together. They bunch together.
But I don't think they're old enough yet.
But when we first got the chickens, we took them in the house and we made like a leg barrier so the chickens couldn't go anywhere. And we all just, put our heels together and made a semicircle. And the boys,
they were like that big.
They were teeny.
Yeah.
And kept pooping in the floor, kept wiping it up. And
the boys like to point that out too. I thought that was funny.
And they did good. They did great.
Yeah.
A couple days later, we said, all right, let's go visit the chicks again. And Natalie's like, yeah, I don't want to put my shoes on and go all the way out to the barn. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll bring them to you. Let me get a cardboard box and I'll throw them in the cardboard box. We brought them to the back deck and played with them out there. I had a big box, so the chickens were roosting on the corner of the box. It was really cute.
Yeah.
They had a blast. We
That
took
wasn't
pictures.
a couple days later. That was
a week later. Whatever it was. I don't know
that
what
was
it
just
was.
a couple days ago, and they were huge at that point. That was a few weeks.
I have no timelines here, Natalie.
I think
Help
it's
me.
a few weeks later.
But after I put the chickens away and I fed the animals, the boys played outside. And I didn't witness this. Natalie did.
What did I witness?
Oh, I thought you knew.
Oh, yes. I was doing school with Lana, but we were inside. We were right inside the this was before we got baby chicks. This is another time.
Baby,
anyway,
I don't know timeline.
It's okay.
I just wrote down topics to talk about. Sorry, this is out. I'm telling you guys, this is out of timeline. Right. Sorry.
Whatever.
She's going to point it out 10 more times tonight, I'm sure.
Yes, I will. Anyway, got the wrong time. Anyway, Lana and I were in the schoolroom. Our schoolroom is right next to the doors to the back porch. And the boys usually stay right there in the backyard pretty close. And as I was doing school, I was like, I can't hear them. I always check every couple minutes. And I looked back and I can see them. So I opened the doors and, boys, where you at? I need you closer, please. And Julian comes around the corner from our driveway, which we're way off the road, so don't get scared about a driveway. But he comes right around and he's just chewing something. What are you eating? Nothing. What? What are you eating? He said a rock. So you ate a rock? Thought about it. No. Lex comes around the corner. Yes, he did. He ate a rock. I said, Julian, did you eat a rock? He's still going like wiping his tongue off with his fingers. And Lex shakes his head up and down real big. Yep. I said, all right, well, it's going to come out eventually. You just got a little extra mineral load there, buddy. It's just, yeah. Rock. Now, what did Lex do later? Lex ate something.
I don't have a note. He ate something bad?
Lex ate something. Yeah, because we're making fun. We said, no, that makes all three of our kids.
I don't know about that one. You have to ask.
No, I know. I told you. You were there. I think you're the one that, but anyway, I don't know. I can't remember.
Today I gave him a Rolo and he put it in his ear and tried to push it in like an earbud. I'm like, dude, no, eat it. You don't put it in your, oh, okay. What are you?
You thought you gave him a
no, because I give it to him with marshmallows and Cheerios
hilarious.
as a little snack for his little quiet time.
That's funny. No, but he did something. I can't remember what. I'll have to ask Lana. But because when Lana was little, she had this little necklace with a little tiny bell in it, and it was attached to a string, and she'd wear it, and it was around Christmas time. And I didn't know, Wes didn't know, but she'd been playing with it in her mouth. And then
she was behind us in the car, and it was a necklace.
Yeah. And then, but she swallowed it when we were at home. And then it went down and it didn't come back up. And I said, what? And I freaked out and I called my dad and I was like, oh, what are we gonna do? We're gonna take her to the hospital? He was like, no, how big was it? Nah, it'll pass. So one kid ate a bell, one kid ate a rock, and one kid ate something else, and I don't remember what it was.
Text just going out to Lana. Let's see if she answers it.
Yeah. The joys of parenthood.
But another thing.
I remember. I got it. I remember. He had a little toy, and it made a cup, and he got a whole thing of sand out of the sandbox in it.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me
and
that.
He's walking around, and I'm seeing this from a distance, and he goes, and then you see him walking around the next 5 minutes going, so he ate sand, Julian ate a rock, Lana ate a bell. So
Lana just texted and said he ate a crayon.
What was that? He did. That was a long time ago.
We need to feed our kids better.
He had red. I don't know if that was Lex or Julian.
I don't know.
It might have been Lex. But he had red teeth. It was non-toxic, thank God. But
aren't all crayons nowadays?
At this point, yeah, probably. But we have such a huge collection of crayons. I don't know.
All right, so talk about the boys.
So let's move on to us being better parents.
No,
What's-
well, I'm working out in the gym, and the boys coming out there and following me
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
a couple days in a row.
They wanted to work out with their daddy.
I'm gonna attach a video to this, but I mean, they're doing shoulder presses, and they're like 12. I start the camera. I said, okay, go. 12, 13. Who taught you that?
Little cheaters.
14, 18, 14, 19, 20. Good job, boys. And then they went over there and did the bench press machine. They really want to use the treadmill, but my treadmill has like a 8-inch gap from the wall. And I remember my old gym, the first gym I ever took you to that we were together,
Yeah.
had a gap like that, and a lady fell off of it and went against the wall, and the treadmill just ate skin, and she was stuck.
That's why you attach the thing to it.
I never attached that thing, but I don't want the boys getting hurt.
You could attach it to them though.
I
if they're
just
on
don't
there.
know, because I don't want them. You turn your back for 2 seconds, they go in the gym, they turn that thing on. I don't
Okay.
want
that's
them
fine.
on it. So anyway, but it's very cute. They one day I was lifting weights and being bit buff, so they were trying to help me. Another day I was doing just cardio only. I was on the treadmill, and they saw the punching bag, and I said, "Yeah, man, beat it up." Can't. I need those. And he points to the gloves. I'm like, no. I get off the treadmill and I punch it. I'm like, you don't need gloves. I need gloves. He would not touch it until I put gloves on him. Then the other one wanted gloves. So then we had to take, and I'm getting on and off the treadmill trying to help him put gloves on.
Oh, but it'll be
yeah.
good in the future.
It was great. It was awesome. I just want to say one more thing about the boys, then we'll move on. They have a friend at church, and his name is Mateo. And I think it's hilarious because it's not like they're picking on him.
No.
It's not like they're trying to give him a
nickname.
A nickname, like a not a slanderous nickname, but a bad nickname,
Right.
something you make fun of somebody. But hey, potato.
Every time. I'm like, it's Mateo. The mom says it happens all the time though. So
With our
it's
kids,
Mateo. No,
other
apparently
kids
with
call
other
him
kids
potato.
too. I guess M is just a little bit difficult starting out. And
They-
so
I mean,
potato.
They
instead
run
of
up to him in the
Mateo.
parking lot and hug him. Potato. I think that's pretty dang funny.
It's cute.
All right, so I have so many things. I know it's out of order, Natalie,
Okay.
but let's talk about your adventure 2 Wednesdays ago.
Oh yes. I had such an adventure. It was so fun.
Can I tell my story, and then you say what happened?
Why?
Because I don't know. I just need to tell my side.
But your side, whatever.
My side doesn't say much
Go.
because I want to hear your side. Not my side is Natalie does 6 hours of school a day. So after office work and after teaching homeschool, she's doing school until dinner. She cleans up dinner and then goes to the bedroom and quiet from away from everybody. She have a little desk on her bed and she's doing school.
Mm-hmm.
And I go in there about 10:30. She's usually in there till 11:30. 10:30, she said, I just took a test or I just finished a chapter. I'm not going to start anything else tonight. I'm going to get to bed early. Well, great. I'm going to go watch Tales from the Crypt in the magic room. I'll see you later. And I come in here and sat down, turned the TV on. It said, insert the next disc. Daggone it. As soon as I get up, I just hear a loud crash. In my head, it sounded like the microwave got ripped out of the wall, just thrown on the ground. But the craziest thing was, no one said a word. The boys didn't say anything. Natalie didn't say anything. So I think I waited like 3 or 4 beats. What the heck was that? And I take off running down the hallway. I don't want to say what I saw, but I'll say what I saw in a second. Go ahead.
Well, I gathered all my stuff up. So I had it in my arm. I had too much in my hands, I suppose.
Well, say everything. Your
I had
desk.
my I didn't have my my desk up and downstairs. It was there. I had my laptop. I had a book. I had a pen. I had my notebook. I had a drink with me, so I had that. I had taken grapes as a snack, so I had my little bowls and I throw all that away. I had all that in my hands. And on my
Your laptop? Did you say laptop?
My second step down, I really don't know what happened. I just know I started going down and I couldn't stop. And I told Wes, I said, I just had this whole conversation in my head because it's happening in slow motion I went head first down the steps. And I was like, this isn't real. I must have fallen asleep because I can walk up and down the steps fine. This is a dream. And then I landed and my feet went over my head. And so my feet are away from the steps. My head is facing the steps, kind of. And I was like, nope, that just happened. And then the pain started to set in. I just laid there.
She didn't scream going down the steps. She didn't. This loud noise that I heard, like microwave, was her laptop getting flung down the stairs. I guess it sounded metallic. I heard a lot of crashing, and I go to the top of the steps and look down, and I scream out loud something. I don't know. But Lana is sitting there over her. Her eyeballs are like a cartoon bulging out of her head. She hasn't said anything yet. And Natalie's at the bottom of the steps going, So I run down the steps. Then she starts saying, my shoulders, my head, my toe, my toe, my toe, my shin, my leg, my elbow. Toe. And she's just naming off all the things that hurt.
Yeah.
But how many times did you hit your head? Twice? When you fell, you hit your head first.
I think I hit my head 4 times. I think it bounced off the steps before I was able to roll my head, and then I rolled my shoulders the rest of the way down. That's why they're still sensitive. My knee and my shin 2 weeks later are still swollen. So is my toe. It's all still bruised. All still hurts. But
she had a nickel size skin removed off the top of her toe, and I just knew that was bone sticking out. So the boys come running about the same time I get in there. I don't know what they were into. And they were like, mommy, oh, you're bleeding. And they want to touch it. And she's like, no, because she's got a broken toe with blood. So I said, boys, help me get a Band-Aid. So I got them out of it because I can't. If I see bone sticking out, I'm going to pass out. I'm going to faint. And we went upstairs.
And then I told Lana, I said, is my laptop okay? Please tell me my laptop is okay. Because I was working on an 8-page paper at the time, and I didn't want to lose everything. Darn it, I didn't have to start over.
So as she's on the floor, Lana's checking that, make sure that's okay.
It was fine.
And then I got her up and got her to the couch. And then I start chat GPT and concussion, broken toes, blood clots.
And he was like, you ready to take a ride? Like, a ride where? Why would I want to get a ride? And he was like, to the hospital. I said, no, I don't want to ride to the hospital. I got banged up. I don't know. Maybe I should have gone. I don't know, but I don't want to. And I'm like, there's nothing they can do. The thing that hurt the worst was my toe. My shin and my knee were next. And then my shoulders is just if you touch them or anything. So I was like, no, I don't want to go. There's nothing that can be done for a broken toe. They're going to go, yep, that's broken. Here's a $2,000 bill for coming to the ER. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. It's a broken toe. It's a broken toe. It'll figure itself out. So I was limping for a few days, and it still doesn't feel comfortable to wear my show boots. But anyway, it's what it is, and eventually I'll be able to sit normal, I guess.
But
like on the ground.
2 weeks later, her shin is still swollen.
It's swollen. It's a smaller swollen. I mean, it used to be all the way around, not just there. Like, it used to be all the way. It looked like half my leg was swollen. Now it's more of a, I don't know, 3-4 inch wide section instead of a.
But you could have chipped a bone.
Could have.
She's got a heck of a pain tolerance and also a heck of a fear of hospitals. So
now, I didn't used to. My dad's a doctor. I had no fear of hospitals. But now I don't want to go. Last time I went voluntarily, I stayed there for quite some time and I repeat. So
this is Wednesday night.
Yes.
11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
We have an illusion show Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what are we going to do? No, this is a full evening illusion show. Hour and a half show, 15-minute intermission.
I'm like, Wes, we got to figure something out because
at least 4 illusions are supposed to happen during this show. That's what they paid for.
And all the illusions that I'm in, I'm on my knees. I have something going across my foot. I have to crouch down. I have to do something that's painful.
Lay on your elbows, lay on your shoulders, lay on your
Something.
knees.
Yeah.
Curl your toes underneath of you and set on your toes.
And I'm like, I can't do any of that. Like knees down, out. You know, and
I can't touch your elbow in bed.
My elbow still is very sensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
I moved the covers. My alarm went off at 8 this morning. I moved the covers. 2 weeks later, she said, "You hit my elbow."
Yeah.
Honey, with a cover. That I didn't.
My shoulders are a lot better. They're still sensitive, like on the outside right here. This one more so than that one, but my elbow's still sensitive.
So
but it's better.
I was like, all right, well, I mean, we priced them for illusions. So what are they really?
Well, we priced them for an hour and a half show.
Right.
And so we did a new illusion with the boys, which even so I had to be in it with them. And it's the first time any of us had done this illusion. And I think I can figure out a better way to position us, but the only way that I could position us where I wouldn't get touched on the parts of my legs that hurt by the boys was a little awkward, but it worked. So, well, and they were very excited.
And I've put that video on social media and stuff. I'll attach it to this clip as well in the Facebook group. But I give it a B minus. It wasn't like.
It was the first time we did it.
For me, seeing it as a magician. But the audiences loved it.
Oh,
I put it online. I had nobody give a negative comment about it. So I'm seeing stuff. I'm being picky because I know what to look for too.
Right.
But it was a jumbo square circle from Creative Magic, if magician listeners out there. And it was my wife and my identical twins.
Yeah.
When I produce them, they're seated. And I lift up the thing to show them as plop, and they do plop out of it. You see feet hit the ground because Julian's got his feet on the wall. And I pull it back because we just rehearsed where we're putting the kids, and so it's not going to hurt her during rehearsal. We didn't rehearse what I'm supposed to do with this. And it was a smaller stage.
Put it down and help your.
I'm sitting back here holding this, and she says, "I felt so embarrassed because I'm out there." Look like I'm pregnant.
I looked ridiculous getting up off the floor, trying not to hurt my knee, my shin, my toe, not putting anything. I felt like I looked like an idiot, but I think most of the attention was on the boys anyway, which is good. So
and they were winking,
and they had such a good time because I told them, "Listen, we're playing hide and seek with everybody, so we have to be quiet because we're hiding. So we got to be quiet." And people were like, "Oh, you got quiet. We're gonna be quiet." And they're whispering back and forth the whole time, which is fine because there's loud music as long as they're not yelling. Hiding, oh, shh, no, shh, Julie, no, Lex, shh. And it's back and forth. I'm like, okay, everybody ready? We got to say ta-da. And so when he lifted it up, they all went ta-da, lifted up their arms, and it was so cute.
And Lex was winking and tipping his head to the side, and Julian can't wink, so he's pulling his eye down.
Yeah. Well, Lex does both eyes when he winks, but it makes it look like he's winking right because he's doing it off to the side. It's cute. It's very cute. Yeah.
So we do a trick in our show for our full evening illusion show. We borrow a lady's cell phone, and I go out in the audience and I'm talking to the audience, and Natalie said, "Well, what do I do?" Because we had to change this routine. Magician Toxic doesn't work anymore. That's inside information. So we had to change it to an add a number. Magicians know what I'm talking about. But so we had to change the routine, just that bit. So we did an add a number. Mm-hmm. And I'm going out in the audience with a clipboard. And Natalie said, "Well, what am I supposed to do? Usually I'm up there and with you." And now I'm up there with the lady.
Out getting this stuff.
And I said, "I don't know. Just talk to the lady. Just small talk, whatever." And I look back and they are giggling and they're going, and I'm out in the audience. And I'm like kind of jealous. I feel like I'm missing out on something really. And the lady's like, I said, "What are you guys talking about?" From the audience. And the lady's like, "Well, we just became friends and we're going out for drinks next Tuesday."
Yeah.
But then after the show, Natalie said, what she really said was.
She said, "Do you have a bum knee?" I said, "No." So I'm like, great. Everything's got a bum knee. I told her, I said, "I fell down a flight of steps, like a good 13 steps." I said, "And I am beat up. And this happened like 2 days ago." She goes, "Oh my goodness. I thought it was a bum knee because I have a bum knee. And so I just assume everybody's got a bum knee." And then we started talking about other stuff. But That's what got it started. I'm like, great. The whole audience thinks I have a bum knee.
No, I got a broken toe, and my kneecaps are green, my shins are green, my elbows green, my shoulders are green.
The whole foot is green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I a lot of times in those shows I wear a sleeveless shirt. And I was like, I'm not wearing sleeveless tonight, honey. That's just distracting.
Oh,
see
I thought you
black
meant the
and
weight. I
blue.
thought you meant the weight because the strap is right
I
there.
just see them black and blue everywhere.
But the show was great. The show was good.
Yeah,
The
they had a
boys,
really good time.
when we built the illusion on the stage and start setting the stage, the boys were chomping at the bit to try to crawl in it before the show started.
In it right away. You're like, not yet.
And they love it.
Because it gets hot in there.
Yeah, but they love it.
Oh, they have a blast. It's yes.
But the show turned out great.
Yes.
And I was a little. How would you describe my attitude, Natalie?
Let's see. I guess he was stressed because he was worried that we weren't doing as many illusions, which people don't ever remember how many illusions you say are in a show. But he was stressed and worried that they wouldn't like it and blah 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 blah.
Or they'd want money back. They'd want a discounted show because we didn't.
But we gave him an hour and a half with a 15-minute intermission. We made things seem bigger than they were, and it's just it's what we could do. It's life. It happens. Sometimes you gotta be flexible.
But also,
they really really liked it. But the point is, before the show, he's stressing out, and so when he's stressed out, I call it pre-show pissy, and he gets to be not so fun to be around sometimes. That's all.
So we were having dinner.
A bit of overreaction.
We were having dinner, and she forgot the TV cell phone that has all of our video footage.
Your
area. And I threw my napkin down, and I had to go walk. Well, it wasn't easy. It was 3 stories uphill.
3 stories.
It's
1 story up with building.
You take 3 down to the basement.
Whatever.
You exit on the basement.
Anyway, it is a steep hill. I'll give him that. But he didn't have to lug anything on that trip, and it did not require a gotta go get it. I mean, he threw that thing down, big huge sigh, and stomped out. Lana looked at me and goes, "Did I do something wrong?" And I said, "No, Lana, honey. Daddy's just not in a good mood right now."
Well, because it was dead. It was
how
dead.
Bad it was.
And it needed to be fully charged, and the show was an hour.
That was a little bit of overreaction.
The other thing was I didn't let her carry anything up that hill. So that was another trip for me to make to that daggone car.
And he did that all on his own. I told him
trying to love you. And that wasn't attitude against you. I was sick of doing that hill, and I'm still scared, and I'm still got stuff going on.
Yeah, but that was
you took that against you.
Honey, that was too much.
But it was a great show. Standing ovation. Afterwards, the people sat around talking. That was just fantastic. That was you guys are great. My mom started this business 30 years ago, and you guys, that was amazing. Well, if it was so good, why don't you book us next year? No, we're gonna. So Natalie called them the next day, and they already got it on the book.
We are.
Do we have it on the books?
Yep, they're on the books. They did it for a year, so we're going to be there next year. Same week, first Saturday in May.
So another thing about that show, though, some of the kids that I called up, just I couldn't understand. The one kid just wanted to have a whole conversation with me. I call him up there. Most people are nervous, and this kid was going like, dude, stop. Can I say my line now? And the audience started laughing because the kid was just so excited. And it was cute. It was fine. But boy, you don't really have somebody talking to you like that during the show.
Yeah.
You just would not stop. Later on in the show, I needed another kid, or I need another volunteer. He volunteered, so I picked him. And I said, hey, man, thanks for volunteering. What's your name? Why do you want to know?
Right.
I'm like, what? Dude, because it's a magic show. I mean, I don't need to know. I was trying to be nice. Dude, are you all right? And I'm sitting here. I'm trying to be funny, but I'm trying to be sincere to him, too. You were volunteering. Do you want to be up here? Are you cool to be up here? All right, well, let's have fun. And then we got into the routine, and he was fine. He was a normal helper. But after the show, I'm like, man, I've never had anyone ever just look at me like, why do you want to know? As a 12-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid,
I'm like, dang.
And then the lady wrote to us later on and found out that he was a trauma kid. Like he didn't know his name when he was 6 or something. Like
Yeah.
there was some issue going on there. I'm like, you don't know. And that's why I was like, are you okay? Are you good? Are you nervous? There was a 20-year-old girl that had to read a prediction. And literally the paper she was holding.
Aww.
Did you see it? Were you?
No, I heard you though. You said I get it. I don't like to read in front of people either. And
So I helped her.
Yeah.
I mean, she was struggling. So I tried to help her out and make that easy. But I was like, my volunteers that night, they weren't awful, but it was something memorable. That's for sure. Yeah. Let's see. My notes are all over the place. The next one, when I was feeding the animals today, I remembered that giant spider that fell on me, and I screamed so loud you could hear me all the way to the house.
Sounds like a girl.
I don't know if we talked about that.
Have you ever seen Home Alone? When the guy gets a thing, high pitched scream. It was high pitched, sound like a girl.
And this was at the other house.
I would have done the same thing.
This was at the other house. And,
Yeah.
I mean, an acre away.
How much land was it?
Probably about an acre.
Was it an acre?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was an acre. So sure.
Yeah.
Ish.
And you could hear me at the house.
Yeah.
The only thing about that animal shed that I had, one night I had the scariest thing ever happen to me. I don't even know how to describe it. It was a growl, a roar, a hum. If the devil made a sound, it would make that sound. And I'm like, that was scary. And it was nighttime, so it makes it scarier just being out there.
Do you think it was like a
No, I know what it is.
earthquake type thing?
That's what it was.
Was it an
It
earthquake?
was an earthquake. I got on Facebook later on. They're like, did you guys feel that? No, but I heard, I'm standing on all the mulch and all the, the layer
Yeah.
and all the hay. I didn't feel a ground shake,
Yeah.
but it was a like, whoa, that it was
Give me
weird.
chills.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But that's animal stories. I'm gonna skip Mother's Day. We'll get back to Mother's Day.
Okay.
Magic classes. I just want to talk about magic classes because people ask me, where do you get your inspiration to create magic? Dude, magic classes this year have been crazy. I started a class where I really only teach them 1, 2, 3 tricks that they bring to stage. So I teach them about stage presence, projecting your voice, all these different things. That's 20 minutes of the class. The rest of the time, I'm taking each kid back at the back of the room for 5 minutes while they watch World's Greatest Magic, Rudy Kobe, Melinda. They're watching Lance Burton, David Copperfield clips. They're watching magic specials to see all the variety of magic. And I'm teaching these kids something that they filled out in a questionnaire, what kind of video games they like, what kind of movies they like, to get to know them. One kid, 9 years old, he's been to 8 different countries. That's unique. That might not be something like the other kids. One kid said, I love trash. So much so that I went to the recycling center for my birthday. You are on your own there, buddy. That stands out. That
For
is
real?
unique. I thought I told you that.
You didn't
No?
tell me that one. No, that's funny.
One kid wanted to, where do you get your powers from? If you're a real magician, where do you get your powers from? And this kid just said, from eating pickles, I have pickle power. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll make something out of that. Anyway, I'm trying to go over this, but I don't want to. I could do an hour on this by itself. The pickle kid. If you look at the video of me producing a motorcycle, not a motorcycle, a car for the lady in need.
Mm-hmm.
I produced a toy car out of a cardboard box. I redesigned it for him to be a Minecraft portal. Done. And then Lana sculpted a pickle. So he opens up the box, pulls out a pickle that is sculpted by Lana that looks amazing.
Yep.
Picture does not do it justice.
No.
He holds that, taps it, and now a pig appears from the Minecraft portal.
Mm-hmm.
He did his magic trick.
And Lana painted the portal too.
Yeah, because I don't know what a Minecraft portal is.
And Lana provided the Minecraft little figure too.
Pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. She knew all about that.
Yeah.
The trash kid, I had him walk into class saying, I love trash, so much so, whatever, because that's what he told me.
Mm-hmm.
And he has my duck bucket, and he's throwing out trash. And the trash is a big, I think 150 font letter on a piece of paper. So it takes up the whole piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
They're all balled up. They unball them, look at them, ball them back up. He throws it all out. I just want to share my trash. All right, not all of it. Can I have some back? And he shows the bucket empty and then catches. They all throw it at him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks up on stage and pulls out what they threw, and it spells treasure because he turned trash to treasure.
Some people's trash is another person's treasure.
He loved it.
That's sweet.
Here's the thing, though. This kid might be somewhere between 7 and 11. Because some 11-year-olds are short and you can't tell with the height thing, right? I don't know how old this kid is.
Especially boys.
I can't tell how old this kid is, and I didn't ask. He couldn't spell treasure. And the mom said he missed last week. Is he behind in class? What's going on? He's got an easy routine. He's a lovable kid. I love the idea.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know how to spell treasure. I already said I could write it on his hand, and that would work. Because he's got all the pieces. He just got to puzzle it together. She said, nope, what I'll do this week, I'll sneak it into his spelling bee, his spelling for the week, and that'll be one of his words. Okay. We come there, and he's like, you got treasure? I don't know how to spell that. Okay, we'll write it on your hand like we said we would. When you picks the paper up out of the bucket, you turn around and you're displaying it. That's when you look at your hand. We didn't practice this part.
Oh.
He picks it up, opens it up in front of everybody and goes, and then comes over. So obvious. But you know what? People thought it was cute.
Okay.
It was cute.
Yeah.
One boy did a Lego trick. For the magician listeners out there, there's 7 Legos, Pateo Force, to get to the last Lego. He forced it somehow, some way, for you non-magician listeners. And he has to vanish the last Lego.
Okay.
The vanish does not make a sound.
Okay.
But it made more of a sound than he liked.
Okay.
In a room full of people, you're not going to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to, if it snaps and vanishes, that is crazy. There is a magic convention joke, Natalie, when you do a pass or a magic trick, right? And you're not good at it. You're like, what the heck is that? It was a roach.
Oh. Okay.
That's kind of what this kid did.
Oh.
He said, I'm here today. We're going to do this. You eliminate them. We'll eliminate. I choose to. You choose to. We eliminate them. We got down the left. Sorry. My allergies are just really acting up. Hello. He made that up. I can't.
Very cute.
I don't know if it was. I don't like it because it did make a noise to begin with, but whatever.
Made him happy.
Anyway, and the last one, I taught a kid an escape trick. He was escaping from handcuffs. He wanted to do escape magic.
Okay.
Perfect. Put him in handcuffs. He escapes, comedy routine, all of this. But in one of the lessons, I said, motivation. Where does your magician get their powers from? And why are you doing this trick? I love Legos. I've collected Legos since I was a kid, the guy said, right?
Okay.
This kid said, why am I in handcuffs? I'm a kid. And I said, I don't know. Go home and think about it. That's your homework. So he comes back and said, I got it. I have a monkey costume at home. I'm a cheeky monkey, escaped from the zoo, and they put me in handcuffs to bring me back. It's your trick, dude. Go for it. The audience loved it. I escaped.
Funny.
They put me in handcuffs. They tried to bring me back. I escaped again because I'm a cheeky monkey. And the audience just thought it was so fun. I'm like, all right, there you go.
Yeah.
But magic class is so much fun. These kids are
good imagination.
These kids are a mess, man. It's crazy. All right, so we had Mother's Day. Let's get to Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Well, we always get together with my parents on Mother's Day. And normally we just meet in Lynchburg, have lunch. We might go to a park if there's time. If not, that's it. We go home. And I talked to my mom this year. I was like, do you want to get together for Mother's Day? She said, sure. You want to do something different? She said, I just don't like waiting in line and waiting forever for a seat. And then you just waiting. I said, okay, well, what do you want to do? She's like, you want to go bowling? Sure. So we went bowling.
Can you go bowling?
Me? No. I was too scared to wear. Those bowling shoes have no give. They're hard. So I just watched, which I was fine with. I'm not the best bowler anyway. So I just watched everybody bowl, and I had a good time. I think everybody else had a good time. The boys loved it. They had a thing where you get 2 games and you get the third one half off, and we were like, sure, because you walk in, you're like, let's bowl, you're all ready, and by the third game, you're like, holy crap, 3 games.
Well, because it was so many of us.
And
We had
even
2 lanes,
Even
but
the boys were like, I don't want to. Like at the end, we're like, go, it's your turn to bowl. Okay.
but what was our lane? Was our lane 5 or 6?
We had 6.
So that's a lot to take turns.
Yeah, there was 5 on one and then 6 on ours, and so it was you and Lana, Lex, Julian, Willow, and Cassidy, and so all of them. And the boys went first, and
then the other lane was your mom, your dad,
Taylor, Jacob, and Nicole.
There you go.
And the boys were real excited. They went first, and then they didn't want anybody else to have a turn. They wanted to keep going. And they had so much fun. They used the little
ramp.
Yes, ramp, thank you. That they have. And they just shoved it on down there. And they had a good time.
So crazy. They're using the same weighted ball and the same ramp. And I'm thinking about this, Natalie. I kept telling you that day, I think Julian must be pushing it with his left hand because it keeps going that way. But it's going down the ramp.
Yeah.
So would pushing it to one side make a difference?
I don't think so.
Julian's always went really far to the left, really far to the right, or did both and bounced off the bumpers because we had the rails up for the boys.
Yeah.
But Lex's went straight down the middle. They're using the same ramp.
Lex had a great school. Well, I mean,
please write into us and explain the physics of this to me because I don't understand. They're using the same ramp.
We had the bumpers up.
But if they're using the same ramp, right. I thought I figured it out that day that he must be pushing harder with one hand. But they're using the same ramp.
Going on the ramp. Yeah, how could he cause it to go to one side or the other? I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, I was even pushing the ramp for him, like to what do you say? 9 o'clock. So it'd start bouncing off the things. Right?
Yeah.
10 o'clock maybe.
Whatever. You had it way curved to the side, and it wouldn't go down the middle. But he was okay with it. If it hit one pin down, Julian was ecstatic. He was happy jumping up and down. I hit one. Lex, if he hit the first time, he's excited. But if his second time nothing got hit, he was like, and he'd come back all upset.
He got a split and couldn't hit something.
Yeah, and he'd get all upset. I'm like, you hit. Look how many you got the first time. That's really good. But they had a good time. They really enjoyed themselves.
I bowled one frame of Lex's on accident. I don't know how good I did. I might have got 9 pins down. I don't know. One frame on accident because it was the 10th frame.
And he got a spare.
Well, I didn't know this, but when I bowled that extra one for him, he got like a 95.
Really?
For a 4-year-old?
Wow.
That's one round.
Impressive.
Then I bowled one frame for him accidentally because it was my turn after him.
That's hilarious. But yeah, they enjoyed it. I had fun watching. Lana had a good time. It was funny. We don't go bowling that often, so how good can you be when you don't bowl that often? But the last game, my parents' game was done because they got done quicker because they had less people. So we were all back there chit-chatting, and I had just gotten Lana's ballet pictures back, and so I was showing off Lana and what she gave me for Mother's Day. I was showing that all off to my mom and my dad, and at that point I was showing it off to my dad. And she comes back, she goes, Mom, you didn't see. I said, what? I got a strike. I said, no, you didn't. Go do it again. I was showing you off to for people. She got 1 strike and I missed it. But she did get a spare the next time, and I did see that. But darn it, I felt bad because I missed her strike. But I was bragging about her. So, I mean, she can't say I was ignoring her.
It was fun. I won out of 11 people. Was it 11 playing?
Yeah. 6 and 5 is 11.
I got at least 125 each game.
Good job.
Right? Because that was what the thing said. You're in the 125 club.
I think so.
And I got over it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I got 150 ever.
I don't know.
But I got the 125 club. And we've been bowling 3 times in 6 years.
Yeah.
That was our 3rd time in 6 years.
We don't bowl that often.
No.
So.
I was just happy I beat my father-in-law.
Oh, but I gotta tell you what Lana got me for Mother's Day because it's awesome.
I'll attach pictures here.
Yes. So she made, and I mean she sculpted Glinda's wand for me, which is awesome. And then the one that was even better because of all the detail, she made from scratch the wizard's hot air balloon. And I mean, she even put the letters on it, and it all looks so neat.
Out of clay.
Amazing job. Painted it all. So awesome. And I told her, I did my Wizard of Oz cabinet now. And I told her, I said, that handwriting on there looks very neat. I wish you'd write that neatly for school. She goes, Mom, do you realize how long it took me to write that? It's really good. I was amazed.
It beats the pickle she made for me. I love that pickle. She said, Dad, do I have to make you another pickle? I even thought about not giving the kids like their magic tricks because I wanted my pickle. And my magic box had history because I produced a car for that lady, and that was part of that trick. I didn't get to keep the car, but I got to keep the box that I made to produce a little car for him. Gave it all away. And I told her, I said, I got to give my pickle away. I'll make you another pickle, Dad. It's not that. That's a good looking. I don't like pickles. I hate a pickle. That was a good looking pickle.
She's a good
I'm proud
artist.
of her art, is
She's
what it is.
A very good artist. And she made my mom.
Oh, wow. Do you have a picture of that I can put in the group?
If I don't, I think Lana took one, possibly. I don't know if I did, but we can always get one from Granny. So I got my mom a hummingbird feeder. It's really pretty. It's pretty glass, and I got her the liquid stuff to go in it and everything. But I made her open mine first. I said, you have to open mine first. Lana got you some too. So you got to open mine first because hers going to take the cake. And if you do it the other way around, it's just disappointing. So she opened mine. She was like, oh, this is great. She loved it. I was like, yeah. Oh, look at Lana's. Lana, so she got little parakeets for her birthday this year. And Lana hand painted a parakeet for her. And it is beautiful. And my mom was like amazed. I mean, I was amazed. It looks really good. But she is a good little artist.
The whole trip down, she said, do you think Granny's going to like it? Do you think Granny's going to like it? Do you think Granny's going to like it?
And 30 times.
And Barbara Granny was like, oh, honey, I love it. Hey, Glenn, her husband. Hey, Glenn, can you put this in the trunk of the car? I'm like, Barbara, you didn't go over that. You didn't.
Oh,
wait.
She did make over it.
Barbara, you didn't make over that as much as you should have. She worked on this for like 2 weeks. And Lana said, I did not. I barely worked on it. What are you saying?
I told Mom later.
But she's begging the whole time.
I told Mom later, I said, don't let her poo-poo her efforts. She did work very hard on that. Every step of the way, she was going, I don't think it's good enough. Nope, I got to change this. This isn't good enough. And then when she's done, I kid you not, at least 50 times. I'm not exaggerating. Do you think Granny's going to like it? Do you think she'll like it?
But then Granny said, hey, I love it, but put it in the trunk of the car. You got to make over this more.
Yeah, she did make over it more than that. I just think you weren't paying attention.
I guess I didn't see it in here.
Yeah, she was, oh my goodness gracious. She called she called Daddy over to look at it and just, yeah.
I guess I was getting stuff out of the trunk, and by the time I got over there, she's like, oh, wow, honey, really good. Put this in the trunk. That's all I saw.
No, yeah, she did. She talked about it for quite some time. I was like, see, that's why you opened hers second, after mine.
All right, I need a picture of that for the group.
All right.
Let's see. I got more stuff here. You want to talk about the adult birthday party?
Go for it.
31-year-old adult birthday party, 20 friends, 1 baby, and 1 3-year-old that I tried to befriend during the show.
It didn't work.
Dude, I walked into the house and they had a poodle. And I'm like, oh, hey. I put my hands down. That thing growled at me and barked. She's like, they never do that. Yeah, dogs don't do that to me either. And I'm curling my fingers up. I'm like, I need my fingers. Dog, don't do this to me, dog. And then the kid, I tried to make over the 3-year-old. I didn't mess with the baby, but the 3-year-old, I tried to, can you say abracadabra and help me do something?
Yeah.
Just trying to be cute because I'd already built a repertoire with the people. They loved me. The show was going great.
She was having a good time.
And then I just tried to include her, and she just screamed and cried.
Oh, you made the little girl cry.
I was awful.
But she's the only one that got upset. Everybody else really enjoyed the show.
It's one of those things where they were like, do you do adult birthday parties? Yes, but what do you want? You know, we do a family show. The adults are going to love it.
Right. We don't do anything vulgar if you're asking adult, like adult. But Yeah, we've done all adult, like where there's just adults in the room. Absolutely. So yeah.
I think she was a little hesitant, but afterwards she was like, that was everybody was like, that's awesome. They want to hire us for another event for their like, community event thing going on. They loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything else to add to that. We went by ourselves. We left the kids at home.
Yeah, because it was in a neighborhood and there's no parking in Northern Virginia, no parking for RV and trailer. So you had to fit in one car.
Rained the whole way up and the whole way back. It was miserable.
Yeah.
Was it easier to do studying in the car with it raining? You being on the front seat instead of the back of the RV? Did it make a difference because it's darker? And
it's just more
make
awkward.
It worse?
It's just more awkward in that little tiny space.
Yeah.
Whereas in the RV, I'm in the bed and I can have my little table. And
so you want to talk about your classes since we're talking about school?
Okay. Well, I finished my second set of 2 classes and I got A's. Very happy. And I had a weekend off, but I got my work done early, so I had a little bit longer than that. So that was nice. And then this past Monday, I had to start 2 new classes. And one of them is nutritional biochemistry. And it is scary because chemistry is just not my strong suit. So yeah, it's stressful, and reading the stuff and just trying to understand it and trying to get it in my brain right. And it's not what I'm interested in. It's another one of those classes I just have to get through, but I have to get through this one, and then I have to get through nutritional biochemistry 2 as well. God help me.
So she says, hey, honey, I got to take a test today. So at some point, I can't have any kids in the room. I don't want you coming in here either. I'll find a TikTok and show it to her during school. And she's like, I'm taking a test.
Yeah.
I said, all right, well, call me before you do it. She texted me. My phone was on vibrate. I think she pushed the button on vibrate.
I haven't touched your phone in days.
And anyway, I go in there to tell her something silly about Lex or peeing on Cheerios or something. And she's like, I'm doing a test. No, you were stressed out.
I was stressed. I said, I'm doing a test. It's time. You only have a certain amount of time on and yeah. Like, I'm doing a test. I can't, and it's biochemistry. I can't right now.
I walked in just saying, you know, he peed on a Cheerio and it's real funny or something. I don't have time right now. Sorry. And she was like, I texted you. I didn't get the text. I'm sorry. But she was so stressed out. She got a 96.
I got a 92.
Come on.
But the lady apparently understands how hard biochemistry can be. So she's allowing everybody 2 attempts for every single test. So, and of the 2 attempts, you get to keep the highest grade. What?
Does she teach biochemistry too?
I don't know.
That'd be a good thing to know. Maybe she does that. You can stress a little less.
I don't get to figure out my professors until.
All right, so
class comes up.
Finish
but
your
anyway,
story.
She takes the best of the 2 grades. So even if I retook the test and I like failed it, well, I get to keep the 92. And I was like, shoot. But the thing is, you have to take your second attempt before the end of the week. It's not like you can go back later and attempt later. So I'm like, got a 92. At first I was like, that's good. And I was like, no. Let me see if I can do better.
And my thinking was, it's the same questions.
It's not.
The second time, I'm like, that's got to be easier.
So, well, some of them, there were some of the same questions. There are also a lot of not the same questions. So I was like, well, let me just go ahead. I'll just go ahead and try. I'm like, if I do worse, I got a 92. What can it hurt? So I did. I got 100. I'm like, oh, this is a good start. So might be the only 100 I ever get in biochemistry, but I'm going to take it and run with it. And whew, I don't know. It's just stressful. Some of the things and like the chemical formulas and I don't.
Anyway.
I don't know. It's hard. I'm stressed.
And at the end of this class, her last week of class overlaps with the next set of classes.
The last 2 weeks of these classes overlap with the first 2 weeks of the next classes. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll make it through somehow. That's why I got to get 100% now. So if things go downhill.
I really don't understand.
You really don't
Because
understand
it's
what?
6 hours a day.
Don't freak me out, Wes. I'm gonna try.
Sorry.
So what I've been able to do so far though is I've been able to get like not the first week because you start Monday, but you have Monday through Sunday to get your stuff done. And normally I haven't had a biochemistry class before. I'm able to get stuff done Thursday, Friday, and get a head start on the weekend. So if I can do that and get a head start on the weekend before the 2 classes start, then I can get those 2 classes done and then finagle somehow, some way. And I'm just praying that those 2 classes aren't crazy busy the first 2 weeks of class.
Yeah.
We'll
I mean,
find
are you
out.
able to talk to your professor and say, hey,
They're not going to switch up the schedule. They don't
care?
They know that you know, and so, but they also don't know how many classes you're taking at once. Some people take 1 class at a time. Some people take 4 classes at a time.
Right.
I mean, so it's all
right. So
I've had one girl that's in all in my classes the whole way because I see her on discussions.
But I bet your grades are better. I guarantee it. Anyway, have you learned anything about diets and nutrition?
I really liked my nutrition class. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
That's what I had. So in my nutrition class, some of the stuff was nothing's 100%. But anyway, I had to do a couple things where I had to analyze people's diets and interview them and then give my opinion about them and say what I would change to make them healthier and blah, blah, blah. And that's what I want to do. I got 100% on those projects. I was like, heck yeah. So, and that's what I want to do. That's what I enjoy. So I enjoyed my nutrition class. I'm taking a diabetes, obesity, and eating disorder class. And so far that's interesting. I'm in week 1. But so far it's interesting. Much easier to get through than biochemistry. So there's that. But
all right, so I sent you a reel about Weight Watchers being gone. Have you looked into that?
I have not looked into it. I just saw the reel that
they said they're out of business completely.
They went bankrupt.
Well, that doesn't mean they're out of business. Heck, Kmart went out of business, went bankrupt in 1989, and they hung out to 2017.
Yeah. No?
Yeah.
But it's because of people getting the GLP-1 drugs. But at some point, I feel like people are going to have to come around. Because if you don't change your nutrition, the GLP-1s can help you and I think for people, it's a great jumping off place. But you're going to have to change your nutrition if you ever want to get off the medication.
But do they have long-term side effects even for the first shot?
I don't know that anybody knows.
Anyway, Natalie, we tried Weight Watchers. We did Weight Watchers at our old house.
Yeah.
I mean, before Lana was born.
Yeah.
And then they changed the point system. We got all confused and we quit.
Yeah, if they just stop changing it all the time.
But here's the other thing. I just want to say this for everybody. They stuck around to the end of the podcast to hear this.
What?
Natalie's craziest. I mean, I didn't object. But Natalie had a idea, or she read somewhere, that if you sleep naked, that'll help you burn calories and lose weight. That lasted 2 weeks. Yeah. And she's like, this isn't working.
Yeah. Well, my other thing was too,
have they talked about that in nutrition classes?
No. I think it was more a mental thing. You're sleeping naked, and so you are vulnerable and everything's hanging out, and you're gonna then pay,
What? You pay attention to what?
Everything's hanging out. I feel like it's more of a mental thing. Oh, look.
But it was something about you had to regulate your body temperature, so you're working all night long.
I don't know. Anyway, it didn't last because who gets up in the middle of the night with kids? Me. So who has to get fully clothed before she can leave the room in order to...
Was Lana even born at that point?
Yes. She was probably 3 or 4. So she wasn't waking up every night, but on the nights that she was, it's and then go, which is just even more work. So I was like, forget this. It's not worth it.
Potty training the boys. We'll wrap up on this. Okay. Potty training the boys. We're actually starting to see improvement.
So this is what happened. Let me preface this.
Nothing
was happening. Nothing was progressing. And I am sick of buying pull-ups. And they are 4.5. So one day I just came downstairs and I looked at Wes. I said, we got to do something. We got to switch it up. We need to get more consistent. We're just going to have to start taking them every half hour. And that sucks. It sucks because it's like you sit down to do something, time to go take a potty. Get back, sit down and do, time to go take a potty. So we take turns, unless I'm taking a test, then it's all him because it's time. But we take turns. So really each of us are going once an hour. It still seems like it's every other
10
minute.
minutes.
But it's worked. And we bought them big boy dinosaur underwear. Okay, it's half worked. Let's put it that way. Lex is doing amazing. He has only peed his big boy underwear once. And that was at the beginning of us trying, and it was at the end of the day. They still wear pull-ups to bed because nobody's making it through the night yet without peeing themselves. But we'll get there. Right now, I just want to get daytime. Please, dear God, can we please just get potty trained? So they're wearing big boy underwear during the day. Lex is consistently doing good. Everything is going in the potty. Julian will do good for everything for one day, and then he will have 4 days where he doesn't care, and you've put him in big boy underwear. He might make it to the 3rd trip to the bathroom, and you come up to take him, and he's pee or pooed in his pants. Like, no. And then he'll have one good day, and then I'll have 3 or 4. So, you know, he's sporadic, but it's better than what it was.
And today,
and if I can get one boy fully body trained, and this is what I'm hoping, if he has no accidents all week, I'm going to let him go to church with big boy underwear on, and I'm going to bring an extra pair of pants, but I'm going to let him go to church with big boy underwear. And if Julian sees that, because I'm not letting Julian do it, maybe Julian will start doing better. Motivation.
Oh, Lex. I thought you meant Julian.
No, Lex.
I'm like, oh gosh, they're not going to take him every half hour.
Lex. So.
But this morning, I took Julian downstairs.
This morning is different.
Oh, I took him downstairs. I made him an egg sandwich. I cut it in half. I cut it in pieces. I was feeding them because they didn't want to do that. They're watching the iPad. They're sitting at the dining room table. And I don't feel good, Dad. Well, here's another bite. Eat. And Lex is eating fine. And I need a bucket. All right, you need to go bathroom? You go to the bathroom. And I took him to the bathroom in case he was going to throw up. I thought that's what he was saying.
Well, that's what bucket means, yeah.
Yeah, and he pulled his pants down like he's going to pee. I got nothing, Dad. And I called Lana on the cell phone as I'm watching him, getting ready. I'm trying to get him off the carpet, trying to get him.
Yeah.
And called Lana, asked to get the bucket. And Lex said, I'll get it. And Lex ran upstairs and met Lana halfway with the bucket, came downstairs. He pulled his pants back up. He didn't pee. He didn't do anything in the bathroom. He sat down, put the bucket beside him. I feed Lex and I feed Julian. I feed Lex another bite. And I'm like, do you have to go to the bathroom? No. Dude, what is that smell? He crapped all over himself. And it was diarrhea. He didn't feel good. He needed a bucket. He didn't know which end it was coming out of, she said.
He didn't know which end.
But I took his pants down, not knowing how bad it was. And it's all down his legs, all down his ankles. I was afraid it was on me. It was, I mean, I think I used a bag of wipes. I know I filled up a trash can with wipes because I can't fold them like you do. I don't want to get close to the poop. I want to ask Natalie for help, that she was doing something. She was doing school. It was my turn. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, oh, you weren't up yet. That's what it was.
I had a migraine.
You slept in.
I had a migraine.
And I tried to take care of all of it.
Yeah. You did good.
But you ended up at the very end.
I ended up doing the bulk of it.
No,
I
you
did
can't
the underwear.
say bulk.
I did the nasty. I did nasty of the underwear.
You did the underwear, but I did the kid.
Which involved touching poop. There's just no way around it.
I'll throw them away and buy new ones.
No, you wouldn't.
I would. Yes, I would. If I was out in public with that kid.
Anyway.
But
the Cheerios.
We started peeing on Cheerios this week. And I'm loving it. I didn't know that could be that much fun. One set's on one side, one set's on the other side. And I'm like, I kind of have to go too. Lex says, get that one, Dad, get that one. And today, 2 of them stuck together. He said, separate them, Dad. And he pats me on the back. Way to go, Dad. I didn't pee on Cheerios when I was a kid. I think I missed out on something.
Well, you wanted to do Cheerios because what happened?
Tell them.
When they first started. Lex
yes.
needed something to aim at because they're standing across the toilet from each other, and he didn't aim, and it went up.
It went right on his brother. His brother's holding his. It went all over his brother's hand. And I'm trying to get the quote. Lex made me wet. But they're doing good. They're doing good. It's crazy. But
we'll get there. We'll get there. I have hope that Lex is gonna get there first. And then hopefully once Julian sees Lex wearing big boy underwear out of the house, hopefully that'll motivate him to do even better. But today I can't really blame him so much because he didn't feel good.
Yeah, well,
so
yeah, I get
that's
yeah.
different.
But anyway, that's this week's podcast, guys. We got through all of it. So thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys. Remember, go to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment on it. If you're watching on Spotify, comment. I think you can comment on Apple. I'm not sure. Give it 5 stars. Help us out. And this is all coming from my publicist. She said, you don't tell people to do this. So I'm asking you to do it, please. Like and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. My publicist tells me to do this. Jessica, I'm doing it. So there you go. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thanks for everything. Only thing we have left to say is see you next week.
Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Isley, spelled WESISELI.